Hey, welcome back to the program. We have foreign policy analyst, nationally recognized expert on foreign policy and energy. You can see his stuff at thedailycaller.com, Town Hall Newsmax, and thehill.com. Dan Perkins is back with us. Dan, how are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you. And they can see more of my stuff at my website, danperkins.guru.
danperkins.guru. Dan,
Mm-hmm.
what's up with, I guess, Ilhan Omar. I guess I said earlier in teasing this segment that it was Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, but Ilhan Omar calling for the United Nations to intervene with what's going on at the southern border between the United States and Mexico. What are your thoughts?
Oh, when I saw that, I said, we still haven't figured out. America has still not figured out the objective of this woman and her sister in Michigan. They are Muslims, and they are about the destruction of the country. The idea, in my personal opinion, we should not be giving that comment any light of day. The idea that we would consider turning over the control of our southern border to the United Nations is reprehensible. The idea that the national news media is pushing that agenda, that America can no longer be trusted, that we have to turn it over to, and I'm going to be very, very straightforward with you there, sir, the rapists who govern the borders by the United Nations. All you have to do is look at sexual assault and rape by UN peacekeeping missions around the world, and you will see that these agencies are full of people who rape women and children as a course of doing business every day. And it's appalling to me that she would stand there in front of America and talk about how we need to give up control of our southern border when she's not addressing, nor is the Democratic Party addressing the fact that women and girls who are leaving Central America and coming up, in many cases, are given a shot, realizing that to keep them from becoming pregnant, realizing that they're going to probably be raped. And depending on who you read, somewhere between 60 and 80% of all the women and girl travelers on these caravans are raped for various different reasons. Sometimes they don't have the money to pay the coyotes, so they give them sex. And on and on. So the idea that we are allowing women to come up from Central and South America and be raped constantly on these caravans, and she doesn't address it at all, and she wants to bring in UN peacekeepers to take control of our border when they have a horrible record of raping people when they take over a border. And number two, why would we ever want to agree to bring in a globalist organization to take control of our southern border?
Well, again, we're talking with Dan Perkins. You're exactly right. The only reason I think it needs to be talked about is just, obviously, we know Ilhan Omar, and she's part of the squad and everything else, and this is certainly a movement taking the Democrat Party even further left, and that's kind of the point here. Is you want a stark contrast between two sides. I mean, no side is perfect in this, but I mean, you have President Trump and his agenda that's trying to secure the border, that's actually brought up human and sex trafficking. He brings it up almost every time he mentions the border. Now he's bringing up this, terrible thing that's been going on that nobody wants to talk about here. And the left is still trying to somehow take the moral high ground by saying that a wall is immoral. But there's really no comparison. I mean, if we could stop the incentives of illegal immigration, if we could secure the border, a lot of this crime, not to mention the drugs and the sex trafficking, would not be taking place as much as it is.
I agree. And I think that I think it's important to understand I'm literally here sitting at my computer working on a new commentary. And I thought about this during the night last night. We have a media in this country who figures that the only way they can get rid of Donald Trump is to destroy the country. And there's a children's nursery rhyme poem that goes, it's called Little Drops of Water. Little drops of water, little grains of sand make a mighty ocean and a beauteous land. We have the negative. We have little drops of water that are constantly attacking our society, our people, what we believe in the direction we want to take this country. And we're eroding away America with little drops of water every day.
Wow.
And when you're told by a Democratic candidate for the nomination for president, the Democratic Party, that if you vote for Donald Trump, you're a white racist or you're a white supremacist, that's a little drop of water attacking America. And now we've got this binge that they've been on about recession. They're trying to destroy the economy. And Bill Maher said he's hoping for a crashing economy. He wants America to collapse in order to reach his political agenda. And so all of these things, the left is not really being realistic and talking to the American people. They're trying to scare the you-know-what out of people. And these little drops of water having negative impact. Wells Fargo said that the consumer confidence level is the lowest it's been in 3 years. Not coincidentally, the length of time that Donald Trump has been in president, because they've been pounding on him and negative. It's beginning to affect the American people. And so I'm concerned when we see this, you take what she said about bringing in the UN to get control of our border. We are no longer America if we do that.
Yeah, of course not. Yeah.
And and the vast majority in the media, the mainstream media, agrees with what she's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And that says to me they want to destroy America as we know it.
Well, and to your point, they're hoping for the recession, okay? And I'm expecting one, And so I guess you could say that my confidence, the only reason I'm expecting one, Dan, is because I think that you've got those people on the left urging the Fed to be even more political, and they're wanting the Fed to take action or inaction, anything that the Fed can do to try to tank the economy. They're wanting it to happen. They want us to be less prosperous just so the president would have a higher chance of getting thrown out of office. So, I mean, so I kind of am expecting it as somebody who I don't think it would be his fault necessarily, because I think, you've got these, puppet masters, if you will, that think they can control the economy like we control our thermostats.
Mm-hmm. And I think that it has created this summer has been especially vicious with the Democrats and their debates and their willingness to give away the store to try and attract people.
Yeah.
And so when we have the radical left saying we should give up our sovereignty and turn it over to the United Nations, because that's how it will start. That's how they will take over. And they really want the United States to agree to turn over control of the southern border to the UN, because they want the UN to ultimately be in control of the United States. And doing so, getting control of the largest economy in the world, gives them tremendous power.
There's no doubt about that. No doubt about that at all. Dan Perkins, appreciate you spending some time with us this morning. It's always great to talk to you, and wish you the best, sir. We'll do it again soon.
Thank you for having me. It's always a pleasure to be with you.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. And again, you can find out more about Dan, danperkins.guru.